Good afternoon, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I do apologize for the late start. Welcome to the City of Springfield Dangerous Dog hearing. We have 5 items that's on the agenda for today. Before we get started, I will now do a roll call. How's Victor Davila,
Present.
present. Keith Flemings, absent. Megan Laundry,
Present.
present. Veronica Johns, absent. Camille Nelson, myself, present. I will now open the meeting with the first item that's on the agenda. And it's a dangerous dog hearing on 2 golden retriever owned by Nicholas Green. And the meeting is now open. My apologies.
Really briefly before we get started, I do need to read into the record that a certified letter was sent to the Green family notifying them of the hearing. And according to the post office, they were not able to make contact with anyone in the Green family, but they did leave a notice at the home on the 26th. So I don't know if the hearing committee wants to proceed or not.
Any objection from the board members?
Quick question. So proceed will be to proceed with the hearing or just to postpone it?
We can proceed with it, or we could take it up at a later date.
Do we know if the complainant is on the call?
I believe Mr. Lopez, are you there? Mr. Aurelio?
He's here, but he looks like he's muted.
Let me find him. Oops.
Is that the gentleman with the hat?
I believe he is. That says
Yes.
Samsung.
Okay. Mr. Lopez, can you unmute?
Got you.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Lopez. How are you?
Good afternoon. I was hearing what you guys were saying. It's up to you guys. If y'all want to postpone it until he comes back, because I've been waiting for 3 months already. So it's up to you guys. Whatever y'all want to do. Y'all want to proceed? I'll proceed. Y'all want to wait? I'll wait.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'm just wondering, what are the reasons that he's seeking for it to be declared a nuisance? Dangerous dog?
Counselor, do
maybe-
you have the package that was sent out with the agenda?
I do, but I'm looking for it. I'm unable to find it today. So,
I think I could share it with you.
It's an
If you
item, it's,
like, I could explain.
it's page 1.1 of the package.
1.1.
It's the first one, Counselor.
Okay. Oh, it didn't print out. I got up to 1.3. Okay. Would somebody mind just reading it so that I want to look it up?
Sure. It's stated, I, Aurelia Lopez, I'm requesting a dangerous hearing due to on May 3rd, 2022, my dog Mia has been attacked for the 4th time by my neighbor Nicholas Green, 2 dogs that are golden retrievers. My dog isn't the only dog on the block that's been attacked by these dogs. I know a few others that has been attacked by these 2 dogs. One being Natasha and Anthony Sotos, I'm sorry. They reside at 106 Clifton Avenue, Springfield, Mass. And the other one is Tatiana Cheeks that reside at 98 Clifton Avenue, Springfield, Mass. I feel something has to done, so I am requesting this hearing. Thank you, Mr. Aurelio Lopez.
And Camille, did you also forward some photographs?
Yes, I did forward that to the board.
Great.
I also just now emailed you the medical report from the vet. So you'll be able to find that now if you look for it.
So Camille, if I may, so those pictures are the ones that we see a fence at the bottom, it's open, and we see a dog with some gauzes.
Yeah, that's Mia.
Also, that's me, okay.
Okay, the fence, I mean, if I could give you some details, that fence right there, at one point, the first time Mia got bit, there was no fence there. The first time she got bit, that's why I put that fence.
Stop.
The third time, okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, before anyone gives testimony, they are required to be sworn.
Just one in.
Okay,
Before
go
you
ahead.
get too far into it, Mr.
Yes.
Lopez.
Yes. Mr. Lopez, so 1 second, please. Councilor Devlin, Megan and myself, do we all swear to continue? I'm not swear, but willing to hear this item on the agenda moving forward?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so do I. Mr. Lopez, can you raise your right hands, please?
Yes,
Do you swear to testify to the best of your ability, the truth?
yes.
Okay, proceed.
Okay, like, I just want to point out the fence. The first time Mia got attacked, there was no fence there. And that was the purpose of me putting that fence up so that it won't happen again. The second time it happened, me and my brother was working in the driveway, and the golden retrievers came out and pushed up against the fence and popped that door open. That was the second time she got attacked, which my brother that follows me, which his name is Jose Lopez, he was present at the time. The third time she got bit, they bit her through that fence. So that all that stuff you see that crumble, that was the golden retrievers biting my dogs through the fence and having my dog. That was the third time. The fourth time it happened, my youngest brother came to pick something up from my house. He came to the door. Nicholas Green let the dogs out. They came, went around my brother and snatched my dog out of my apartment. And that was the last time. And I said, this is enough. Enough is enough. I don't have money to keep paying for animal vet bills, and he's not doing nothing about it. So that was the fourth time it happened. But the only reason why I took the pictures of the fence is to show you that I'm the one that put up that fence, so it won't happen. They bit her through the fence. That was the third time it happened. And now the fourth time when they snatched her out of my house, because my brother was in my front door and they just came out and grabbed my dog. Because Nicholas Green does not take the dogs out for a walk. He just let them out in the front yard, and that's it.
Mm,
How did they snatch your dog out of your apartment?
They wasn't on a leash. There was no muzzle. They came around my brother and snatched him from the door.
Is this a side-by-side situation or are these separate houses?
Yeah, the doors are side by side, and the front porch, that's where both doors are at. So one is on the far right, and the other one is like in the middle of the building. So when he comes out, all they have to do is be on my porch, and then they would just come around. If my door is open, they could just, snatch her. It wasn't like Mia was outside or anything like that. She was in my apartment right in front of my brother when they snatched her. My brother's name is Roberto Lopez, and he don't even know about this hearing right now. I called earlier today and said that, I just received the mail yesterday. And I didn't have time to prepare, get all the stuff that I needed, and I'm struggling trying to get it now so you guys can have it. But I just sent you the pictures and I sent you the medical bill. So the only thing you probably won't have is the witness of the other people, because I just got the notice yesterday.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Do you have anything further to say?
Myself, I'm not looking for the dogs to be put down or anything like that, you know, but then again, it's not my choice. That's up to you guys. But if he's allowed to keep the dogs, I'd rather have the dogs come out with muzzled or on a leash. Because like I said, this is not the first time. This is the fourth time that my dog got bit. And it's bound to happen again. I mean, when they come out, if there's other little dogs around, you could see them going crazy, trying to bark at them and just running crazy. But they only do that to little dogs. They don't do it to humans. They don't do it to big dogs. It's only little dogs that they bark at and try to get to them.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Lopez.
You're welcome.
Go ahead, Councilor Davila.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Lopez, I'm sorry for your struggle. I myself have 2 dogs, and I know they're indeed part of the family. First thing, I will encourage you that when that does happen, to take pictures of the dogs running around without a leash, because that person could be fined. I think it's $50.
But they're not outside. They're not. I don't mean to cut you off, but they're not outside the gate. I mean, even if they're inside the gate.
Oh, this happened. They're in their property when this happens, in his property.
Go ahead. I'm so sorry. Your phone was coming in.
That's okay. So are they, when the dogs go out, are they out on the public street or public way, or are they in his property and they?
Well, it's not his property for one.
Well, he lives
property.
there.
We both share the front entrance. Okay, so if I have company coming over and they're afraid of dogs, they're not going to come to my house because 2 big golden retrievers is running around the yard.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Okay, they're not running in the street. They're running inside an enclosed gate. But, you know, like I said, it's the front yard. We both share that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I believe maybe Hannah can correct me on this, but I do believe that they still are supposed to be out on a leash outside.
Well, like I said, if he takes them out past the gate, he puts a leash on them. I'm not gonna say he doesn't, but if he comes out to the front yard,
right,
he doesn't come out with a leash.
right,
He doesn't come out with muzzle. So if they was to see my dog, they'll go right to wherever the gate is at and start barking like crazy, trying to rev her up, and then she'll come running, and you know, and she's only but so high compared to them.
right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Lopez. And Madam Chair, the only question I have is regarding notification. I don't know what the parameters are, but if Mr. Lopez is claiming that he just got it yesterday and barely prepared for this, I wonder if we should let Mr. Green appear in front of us before, after. I don't know, just a thought. So we'd love to hear what everybody else has to say. Thank you.
Anna, do you care to respond to that? Please.
In regards to, I'm sorry, whether the hearing should be postponed or not?
No. In regards to whereas and it was actually sent out. Because
Yeah, so sure. So the notices were sent out last week. The dog owners were sent certified, and any of the reporting parties or complainants were sent through regular mail. And I'm sorry, they were sent over a week ago.
Councilor
Right, no, I'm just, I'm sure that happened. I'm just wondering if Mr. Lopez is saying that he got it yesterday and he barely prepared.
I got mine yesterday, but mine wasn't certified. It was regular mail.
Was Mr. Lopez, was Mr. Green certified?
Yes, the parties who request the hearings or anyone who may be witness receives a letter via regular mail. Any of the dog owners for the dogs that are being heard, the dogs that are in question, receive the letter by certified mail.
Well, I didn't receive nothing certified unless it's coming today certified.
To clarify, only the owners of the dogs that may or may not be declared dangerous receive certified mail. You,
Oh,
as
okay,
the
okay,
owner
okay.
of the dog that was attacked, would have received it via regular mail.
Okay. That's the one I received yesterday. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. Those are my questions.
You're welcome, Counselor. Megan, any thoughts, questions?
I'm sorry. I'm here listening to you guys. I'm trying to get ready to get off of work. So I'm
That's
going to be
okay.
doing some stuff while y'all talking to me. Okay.
Okay. Megan,
I'm not, I don't know. I don't,
If there are no questions, but I would make the recommendation that the hearing be postponed until the owner has received notice. The committee may move forward and still have the hearing because adequate notice was attempted to be given to the owner. But without the owner being present, that opens us up to a very good possibility that once they get the order, if their dog is declared, they're going to appeal it. So it would be my recommendation that the hearing committee wait, but that's certainly, that would be at your discretion.
I have no problem waiting. Like I said, I have no problems waiting for you guys. If y'all want to wait for him, we could wait.
I'm in favor of postponing it as well.
Okay. Let's do
Counselor
that.
Davila,
Yes,
postponing.
yes, correct.
Megan,
yes.
Is that a motion to postpone?
so that was a motion to postpone
Okay.
by me, and it was second by
Council Davila.
Counselor Davila. And the motion is approved, and that closes that portion of the hearing. Mr. Lopez, a new hearing date will be scheduled, and we will send out another notice of when that hearing will be held.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, and that closes that portion of that dog hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll see y'all next time. Get out of here.
Just bear with me.
Okay. Get out.
Get him off, yes. To hand him. Okay. We have the next item on the agenda, we have a dangerous dog hearing and a German Shepherd and a Husky owned by Irina and Jameson Atkinson. You could go ahead and get off, Mr. Lopez.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to. Okay. I'm trying to. Okay, give me a second, Jesus.
Mr. Jameson,
Present.
welcome to the dangerous dog hearing in regards to two dogs that you own, a Husky and a German Shepherd.
Yes.
Okay. Can you raise your right hands, please, before you testify? Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay.
Madam Chairman, do we
Chair.
know, I apologize for interrupting. Do we know if any of the complainants are on the call?
So no, let me check. Is there any complainant that's on this call?
Mr. Smith? Hannah, are there more than one complainant for this one?
So Mr. Smith is the party that requested the hearing. He was sent a letter. He was the only party that was notified. He was the only party that requested the hearing or had any incident with the dogs.
Okay, thank you. And when was that notice sent?
About a week ago, if over a week ago.
Hmm.
Camille, I apologize for the interruption.
No, that's fine, Counselor.
Feel free to go
You're
forward.
Okay. I do apologize, Mr. Atkinson. You may proceed with your testimony, please.
Okay.
And you
So
have 5 minutes.
not a problem. So when the incident occurred, I was actually away with the military. I was working on base. The person at the house was letting out the dogs. She was going to put one dog on the lead, and the other dog, which was German Shepherd, got out of the back door and ran outside. At that time, Mr. Smith, who's my next door neighbor, and I believe they were contractors or people who were looking to do work for him, were in the yard between, we share a yard between the two houses. They were in that area, and the dog ran around and saw them and ran towards them. And Mr. Smith turned around, and when the dog had jumped at Mr. Smith and just scratched his back, and then the person who was watching the dog at the time came and grabbed him and brought him inside. Since then, I've put up a fence between the two properties. I've started training the German Shepherd. The Husky has never been an issue. He comes out and plays with kids, plays with adults, plays with anybody. Anybody can approach him, and he's completely fine. The German Shepherd has, had no other issues prior to this. But because of the incident, I've got him used to going outside with a muzzle on. When he goes out, when he sees the muzzle, he looks at it as like a treat, because he's going outside for like a walk, or we take him hiking with a muzzle and things like that. So he's used to wearing the muzzle now. He's always leashed, or if we put him in the yard, he's on a lead. And again, I fenced in the yard between the two properties, so he can't go over to that side anymore. I've tried to quell the situation as best I can with Mr. Smith by doing, anything that I can to kind of prevent any further issues. And there haven't been any further issues. He's completely fine. And that's really it. I didn't even know we had this. We just got back. Mr. Smith, for whatever reason, has been adamant about putting the dog down. He even, from what I was told, he even said that, if it was any other situation, he would have put the dog down himself or whatnot. So, it's just, I can't seem to please him unless the dog is put down, and I don't want to put my dog down. It's one incident that's happened, and there hasn't been any other incident since or prior. So.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Atkinson. Is there anyone online speaking in favor of Mr. Atkinson? Is there anyone? Is there anyone that's speaking in opposition of Mr. Atkinson? Mr. Smith? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Atkinson. And do you have anything further to say?
No, I've done everything I can, and I've continued to do everything I can to make sure that, both dogs are out on leashes or with a muzzle or on a lead or with the yard fenced in now. And I think, I've done enough to make sure that my neighbor should be put to ease and not have to worry about the dogs anymore.
Thank you, Mr. Atkinson. Any question from the boards?
It looks like Mr. Smith is on now.
Mr. Smith, are you there?
Yeah,
Hi.
hello. I'm
Hi.
sorry, I didn't hear. I just got on there. I'm sorry, I was having trouble.
That's okay, Mr. Smith. Can you please raise your right hands, please? So I could swear you in.
Go ahead.
Do you swear to speak the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, you may proceed.
I didn't hear anything what he had to say there. I just heard the end that he has a dog on a muzzle and all that stuff. The fact of the matter is the dog is just uncontrollable. I have a letter here from one of my neighbors that lives in behind him that said that they were sitting in their backyard one evening and the dog attacked them. It ran right into their yard, and they had to put a fence up. The dog was last year before that happened. Mr. Atkins took off to the military for 6 months, and the dog was home alone, and it was just a pup at the time, and different people were coming by every day to tend to the dog. Now the dog has attacked. The dog has come into my yard, front and back, and my driveway about 4 times. This is the first time I failed against it, but like 4 times. One time the dog attacked me, pinned me against my backyard, and the time it bit me on the back, if it had got a hold of my granddaughter, it would have ripped her apart like a cuddly toy. And I give him the benefit of the doubt. A few times before, I never failed anything against him, but the dog's it's dangerous and it's going to hurt somebody. And when it does, there's going to be a lawsuit going on. The dog is crazy. I don't care if it's got a muzzle on or not. When it gets some kid and rips it apart, that's the dog. The dog is just, it's uncontrollable. And the two owners don't have any control over it. When I go for a walk right now, I carry a golf club with me every single time I go out my door. When I go to the mailbox, when I take my granddaughter for a walk, when I get out of my car and I have my granddaughter, I have a golf club with me at all times. I walk the neighborhood at nights, every single night, and I take a golf club with me, and I shouldn't have to live like that.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Is there anyone on this line, on the Zoom, in favor of Mr. Smith? Is there anyone?
What do you mean? Like, do I have someone?
No, if there's someone else on the line that will speak in favor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Okay. Mr. Atkinson?
Present.
Okay, you have 1 minute to rebut.
I've yet to hear anything from any of my other neighbors. No one's approached me. No one said anything. The people who live behind me who actually did put a fence up have walked their dog in front of our house every day and smile and wave and have never said, hey, your dog was in my yard or anything to that effect. It's actually the first time that I've heard it. But again, there's a fence there. There's a fence between myself and my neighbor's yard, Mr. Smith's yard. So I've done what I can to quell the situation.
Thank you very much. Counselor?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Atkins, good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
Question for you, sir.
I'm sorry, Counselor, please bear with me.
Yes, absolutely.
That closes that portion of the hearing, unless Mr. Smith has anything further to say.
Yeah, well, he talks about the neighbor and behind him, hasn't said anything. The guy probably just didn't want any confrontation. But I have a letter right here from the guy next in the back. And I have a letter from my neighbor up the street who was with me. I was standing on the driveway when the dog attacked. So like I say, the dog, if the dog gets out again, each time that it happened, the dog escaped out of the car, it escaped out of the front door, it escaped out of the back garden. And the next time it escapes, it's gonna hurt someone real bad.
Okay, thank you, sir. That closes that portion of the hearing. A question from the board. Councilor Davila?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Atkins, so just to be clear, actually, we're talking about the Husky, not the German Shepherd, correct?
No, we're talking about the German Shepherd, not the Husky. The Husky has never had an issue. He's completely fine. He's never had any issues. The German Shepherd is the dog that they're speaking of.
The German Shepherd, okay, because I do, okay. Okay, so it's the German Shepherd. Now, these attacks that Mr. Smith is talking about, Were you aware of those situations, previous concerns?
No, it was, so again, I did leave for about a year when I was away for the military, but I didn't have multiple people coming to watch him. I had one person who actually moved into the house while I was away, who took full-time care of him, and even took him to training and took him to work with trainers and canine schools. And no, there were a few incidents where he had gotten out of the yard, or he would run. He would, run into the neighbor's yard because there was no partition, there was no fence there or anything like that. But I had never known that he pinned anyone against anything or any of that nature. The only incident that I know of where there was actually something where it became an actual situation was when he got out and jumped at Mr. Smith and scratched Mr. Smith's back.
Okay, and so that's the only situation you're aware of. Now, was that what prompted you to put up the fence and start putting the muzzles on the German Shepherd?
Yes, once that situation arose and I was looking for ways to, prevent it from happening again or from any other issues from occurring. So I put up the fence. I got him used to muzzle training so that when we went out, he was used to being on the muzzle and he wasn't, trying to fight to get out of the muzzle or anything. And now he looks at it as like a treat. We walk around and he's completely fine. He wears the muzzle. He walks around people. I take him to Home Depot. I'm socializing him. COVID kind of made things a bit harder to socialize him, but I take him to Home Depot with me. I take him to Lowe's with me. He's fine when we're walking and we're passing other people and other dogs.
Now, what this current attack and the one previous before, were you away military service when this happened?
Yes, I was away for just about a year. And when the attack that we're speaking of happened, I was actually working on base at the moment when the situation occurred. But
Okay.
he was with his other caretaker. He had someone taking care of him at that time. He wasn't home by himself.
Okay, well, is that base local or is that far away?
That time it was local. I was working at Westover in Chicopee.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Atkins.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any more questions from the board?
I'd like to say something to the councillor.
Without objection, Madam Chair.
Or I'd like to rebut what he just said.
Sure. You have 1 minute.
So he said that it only happened one time. Twice he called me and apologized for the dog. When it happened one time before, his girlfriend called the dog off. It had been pinned against the backyard, and he called me and he apologized. And the last time it happened when the dog bit me on the back, he called me and asked me did he want me to did I want him to put the dog down. He asked me if I wanted to put the dog down, and I said no. And it was just the next day when I realized that I have to carry a golf club everywhere that I went back to him and said, I think it's probably best that you get the dog removed from the property. If you want to give it up for adoption or whatever you want to do, I said you gotta get it removed from the property. And during the time that he said they was getting all sorts of training, and I don't think there was any training schools open because of COVID, because I checked into everywhere and the places were all closed during COVID, so no one was getting any training.
Okay, thank you.
And if it was getting any training, it wasn't getting trained by him, so the dog was coming back to the same environment if it was getting trained.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Smith. Any more questions from the boards?
Are there any other documented incidents with animal control for this dog?
I don't know.
If you're asking me, I need to be sworn in first, then I give any testimony related.
Anna, can you, do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God, Anna?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
So we have one incident involving the dog. It was on September 3rd of 2021. Animal control officers received a bite report from an urgent care facility indicating that resident Liam Smith had been bitten or scratched by the dog in question from 3 Intervale Road. The animal control officer was informed that the dog Tank ran from its yard. And after Mr. Smith scratching him on the back, the dog was quarantined at home. Dog licenses for both dogs from Intervale Road were obtained after the quarantine. And as of earlier this month, both dogs are licensed and current on the rabies vaccines. That's the only incident we have on file.
Thank you.
So, Megan and Councilor Davila, based on the information that we have received, what are your recommendations? What are you willing to do on tonight?
If I may,
Go ahead.
thank you, Madam. No, Megan, go ahead. I defer to you.
I do not recommend it to be deemed dangerous at this time.
Okay.
Sorry, Megan, I didn't hear what you said.
I said, I do not recommend that this dog be deemed dangerous at this time.
Councilor Davila?
So I just have I guess a question. It will appear to me that Mr. Atkins is at least attempting to get a handle of the situation. He has a muzzle, he put up a fence that appear, however, not to be enough. It seems to me that the only one that can have full control of the dog is Mr. Atkins himself. So I guess the question I'm addressing to the board is, are we just declaring the dangerous dog, or can we make recommendations to avoid any further issues? Because I'm a little concerned with the 2-year-old girl.
So can I speak in regards to the offense?
If you don't mind, I would like to hear from the board or from the attorney first.
Oh, absolutely.
Attorney Breck? She there?
We're in the portion of the hearing that is deliberation by the members of the committee. It's not typically, it's not typically a dialogue, from what I understand, with either of the parties. But if the chair wants to allow that, it's up to the board. But we do have multiple other hearings on the agenda.
Right.
To get to.
But if I may, Madam Chair, Attorney Breck, with regards to, are we just declaring a dangerous dog, or can the board make recommendations as to, what's the word I want to use, to prevent any further injury? Because I'm a little concerned with the 2-year-old girl.
I
guess it's conditions. If we declare, can we put conditions on this? I guess is another way to say this.
So,
the options, the way I understand it, Madam Chairman, please, or Hannah, please redirect if I'm going off base here, is the options are, the board can determine that the dog is neither a nuisance dog or a dangerous dog, which is one option. Another option is to declare it a nuisance dog, and another option is to declare it a dangerous dog. I suppose that if the board were to come to some consensus about imposing conditions, and the board agrees on that, you can, I think that is within your powers to do that as members of the board.
I think how it works, if you vote on a condition for the dog, then those conditions come with stipulations that they have to follow.
But would that only be if there's a finding made? If there's no finding, then I don't think that you can put.
Exactly.
Who is that speaking?
I'm sorry, that was Hannah.
No, Hannah, the other person.
Oh, I'm sorry, Attorney Cullinan.
Oh, Bill, is that you?
No, it's Officer Fleming.
Oh, Officer, we didn't know you were
Sorry,
on,
Keith, I just made
we
it
didn't know you
clear.
were on the call. When did you join?
I was here from the beginning. I just didn't have my camera working.
Oh, okay. We
Oh,
didn't
okay.
know you were involved in the hearing, so.
Okay, so I could be wrong, but based off of my little bit of knowledge that I do on this I take it whereas Mr. Atkinson has actually taken a lot of the initiatives, whereas in to prevent any further occurrence. Anna, one question for you. Has there been any issues since the last one?
We only have one incident on file,
And that's it?
correct?
Thank you. So I am definitely not in favor of deeming the dogs dangerous at all. So that leaves us.
So I think Officer Fleming, Madam Chair, I think he would like to have an opportunity to speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Officer Flemings?
Yes, I don't agree with deeming them dangerous.
Okay.
Sorry. I didn't hear what Officer Fleming said.
Officer Flemings, can you repeat that, please?
I don't want to, the dog is not deemed dangerous in my opinion.
Okay.
Right. Well, you guys can all wait until it mauls my 2-year-old granddaughter.
Mr. Smith, you are out of order. You have not been recognized by the chair.
Oh, sorry.
Your portion of the hearing is over, so please mute your line, please.
Thank you. So with that, Officer Flemings, Councilor Davila, Megan, what are your recommendations?
I'm sorry, are you not copying what I'm saying? I'm not sure if my thing is working
So
accurate.
I do understand you. I am not inclined, I'm not in favor for voting for the dog to be deemed as dangerous. And neither is Anna or yourself. Do we have any other recommendation that we can put on the table or for Mr. Atkins?
If I may, Madam Chair, I just want to be clear. So I tend to agree that the dog himself is not dangerous at this point. As I mentioned before, it appears to me that Mr. Atkins is really trying to get control of the situation and of the dog. But it will also appear to me the only one that has control of the dog is Mr. Atkins himself. If I heard correctly, the incidents have happened when he's not there, if I heard correctly, usually because he's away in military service. So what I was asking before was that if we want to put conditions, the dog will have to be found either a nuisance or dangerous. If he's found, if I understand correctly, if he's found not dangerous, that means that we cannot impose conditions. Is that correct? Attorney Breck, perhaps?
So if it sounds like there's consensus that the hearing committee has not determined the dog to be dangerous, the other two options are you may find the dog to be a nuisance, and then a nuisance dog, which is different, and you can you have options about recommending conditions, or you can find that the dog is neither dangerous or a nuisance.
Okay, so that I understand you, because what I was thinking, Attorney Breck, was to declare the dog not dangerous with the condition that when Mr. Atkins is away in military service, the dog is kennel for the portion that he's going to be away. But it appears to me that that's not possible under the rules, correct?
I'm reviewing the ordinance. If you were to determine that the dog was a nuisance dog, you can order that the dog be confined to the premises of the owner of the dog in a secured area. But if the owner is not home, I'm just reading real quick. I think you have flexibility in making recommendations of conditions, but you would have to determine that the dog is a nuisance dog before
Okay.
doing so.
That's right. Okay.
If you're deciding that they're neither a nuisance dog or a dangerous dog, I don't know that you can impose conditions.
Right.
You can certainly make recommendations.
Recommendations.
Hannah, I don't know if Hannah would like to add anything to that.
Yeah, so that would be my opinion as well, that unless the dog is declared a nuisance, if there's no finding, then there are no orders or restrictions imposed on the dog.
So it will be just strict recommendations then.
I'm sorry, say that again?
It will be just recommendations as opposed to conditions.
I assume so. If there's no finding, I think that you could probably encourage the owner or make a recommendation, but it wouldn't be written down as an order without a declaration on the dog.
I got you. Thank you, Hannah.
Sure.
Madam Chair, you looking for a motion or are you?
Yes. I'm looking for a motion to deem the dog. Well, can't say no finding because it was finding and he fixed the finding.
Well, let me, if I may, let me make an attempt here, Madam Chair. I make a motion the dog is found not dangerous with the strong recommendation that the owner considers kenneling the dog while he's away in military service.
Okay. I second that motion. So, board members, what's on the table right now is Councilor Davila recommended to find the dog not dangerous, but recommended that the owner place the dog in a kennel when he's away on military duties.
I do not agree.
Officer Flemings? Officer Flemings?
I agree with that recommendation. I agree with that recommendation.
Okay.
You want to do a roll call?
Yes. Councilor Davila, on the recommendation of not deeming the dog dangerous,
That's a quick point. Oli, do we need a second on that or no?
I second that motion.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so my vote is yes.
Yes. Officer Flemings?
Yes.
Yes. Megan?
Yes, not to deem the dog dangerous, no to the recommendation.
And no to the recommendation. And Camille, yes. Okay, Mr. Atkinson.
Yes.
So the board has voted not to deem your dog dangerous, but has made a recommendation that when you are away, to place the dog in a kennel.
Okay.
Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Yeah,
The board has voted not to deem the dog dangerous, but has recommended that Mr. Atkinson place the dog in a kennel when he's away on military duties.
okay, that's your recommendation, that's it.
Madam Chairman, would you also want to take a vote on whether or not the dog has been deemed a nuisance dog?
Yes. In regards to having the dog deemed as nuisance, Councilor Davila,
No.
Officer Flemings?
No.
No. Megan?
No.
No. Veronica, I do apologize. I did not call her. She's absent. Camille, no, the dog is not neither deemed dangerous nor nuisance.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. That closes that portion of the hearing.
Thank you all for your time.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Thank
As
you.
well.
Close it up.
We have here, is there in item number 3, dog hearing and a dog named Ollie owned by Ashley Narrow at 95 Orpheum Avenue. Is there anyone here? Is there anyone present? Is there anyone present for the dog named Ollie? Ashley?
Madam Chair, could we ask Hannah if when the notices were sent for this one?
Yes, all of the notices were sent a week or more previously. The certified letter was delivered to an individual at Ashley's house on the 25th. And notice to 3 different parties was sent via regular mail in this case. And I don't believe any of them are present.
Okay, thank you. All right. Board members, are you willing to take up this item?
Madam Chair, so it seems to me that reading the report, the officer states that the dogs were well fed, they had water, there was really no issues, right? Just trying to make sense of it. I defer to the wisdom of the board.
Is the board willing to take up this item tonight, this evening?
Is it, Madam Chairman, is it true that they're neither the complainant nor the owner are on the call?
That is correct, attorney. Board member, no one has appeared in favor or in a position of item number 3. Are you willing to take up this item this evening?
I make a motion to postpone.
Seconded.
Let's postpone that one.
That's gonna be your alternative, the only.
And second by Megan. Okay, I'll do a roll call on that. Councilor Davila on the motion?
Yes.
Yes. Officer Flemings? Keith?
Yes.
Yes. Megan?
Yes.
And Camille, yes. This item has been postponed until further notice. Okay, I have here item number 4, dangerous dog hearing on a pit bull named King owned by Jahida Soto of 100 Cuff Avenue. Is there anyone on this call in regards to this dog? Is there anyone here? Ms. Soto, are you here?
Can I ask a question, Madam Chair?
Sure.
The question, I guess, would be for Hannah. Hannah, when the notices go out to the both the complainant and the owner of the dog, is the Zoom information contained in the notice?
No, so we, as animal control, we simply mail the notices. The clerk's office drafted the letter regarding the hearing. In the letter, it did, well, I'm sorry, I drafted it on behalf since it was changed this time. The letter did state that this will be via Zoom and to contact the clerk's office in advance for the link.
Oh, that's how that information would be given? Okay.
Correct, because this is the first time that the city has actually held a hearing via Zoom for a dog hearing.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Camille, as one of the assistant clerks, do you know if anyone contacted the clerk's office to get the information?
I don't think.
Just curious.
There is, I have a letter that I sent out, whereas in Therese. She said she would not be able to make it, but she sent her letter, her testimony. And I submit that via email to the board members. And as well, I believe Gladys also received a email, which I also forward to the board member, and Mr. Mattoon requested that the meeting rescheduled.
And that's for this one, this particular Yadira Soto dog?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Mattoon, I'm sorry again, Camille, would you mind saying, what did Mr. Mattoon or Mrs. Mattoon say?
Mr. Corey Mattoon had requested that a meeting to be scheduled for next week.
Okay. Anyone else for this particular hearing?
None.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Again, board members, based off of the information that you have in front of you, would you like to hear this item tonight, this evening, or would you postpone it?
Postpone.
Is it a motion, Megan?
Yes.
Is there a second? Keith, Councilor Davila?
Sure, yes.
Is that a-
Second to postpone?
Yes. Is that a second?
Yes,
Councilor?
to postpone, yes.
Okay, I'll do a roll call. Councilor Davila?
Yes.
Yes. Officer Fleming?
Yes, a second to postpone the meeting?
Yes. Megan?
Yes.
Yes, and Veronica's absent, and Camille, yes. So that meeting will be postponed as well until further notice.
Yes.
And we have here item number 5, a dangerous nuisance hearing on 2 dogs named Damien and Daisy, owned by Derek Faria at 55 Mobile Home Way. Is there anyone on the call? Is there anyone present? Is there anyone present?
So this, the certified letter was sent to Mr. Faria last week regarding this hearing. The post office was unable to deliver it or to forward it. We tried calling him multiple times this past week. Message was left on one of his phone numbers, and the other number we have on file was not in service. So I don't know that he didn't receive any notification, unfortunately.
Okay.
Thank you, Anna. Okay, thank you. Boards, are you willing to hear this matter to this evening, or would you like to postpone this as well?
Postpone.
I second that.
Okay, this is a roll call vote to postpone item number 5. Councilor Davila?
Yes.
Yes. Officer Flemings?
Yes.
Yes. Megan?
Yes.
Yes. Absent Veronica? Yes. Camille? This item has been postponed until further noticed. Okay, there are no more item on the agenda for today, so this closes the hearing. And I thank everyone for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night, everybody.
Thank you very much.
You as well.
Do we do a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
I
I need
second
a
it.
second.
Second.
Okay. Okay. And the motion to adjourn? Counselor
I
Devlin,
second the motion.
after Clemens,
Yes.
Megan,
Yes.
and Camille, yes. Motion approved. Thank you, everyone, and have a great evening.
You as well.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you.